Hey, what is up, guys? It is Boss Driver. Today, we are reviewing the DC Designs F-15. There's a couple different models. We'll start off with the F-15C. Let's take a look at it in the aircraft selection. A couple different paint schemes to choose from. Woohoo! Let's go with this one, 493rd Fighter Squadron, because that looks cool. Let's check out the weight and balance. 41,000 pounds right now. That'll work. And to do this, let's go to Langley Air Force Base in Virginia.
Boss driver, 1 altimeter, 29er.9er, 2 wind, 158 at 14. Straight out departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 08.
Cleared for takeoff runway 08, Boss Driver 1.
Here we are at Langley. Set the cockpit height a little bit. Alright, let's take a look around. Looks like high quality. All the bells and whistles. I am not a switches kind of guy. I'm not into clicking all the switches that are available in Flight Simulator. I enjoy the flying and the flight characteristics much more. If you're a switches kind of person, good on you, but I'm not going to talk too much about those or try to flip really any switches today. Let's just get a good look around. I have flown and instructed in several military aircraft in my day. The F-15 is not one of them, so I won't be able to relate that kind of experience, but I do know how to enjoy some flying, so we're going to relate it to that. This looks like a good representation of the cockpit. Let's check out the outside. Huh, that's a cool paint job. I especially love the checkerboard nose. Nice. It's like an old P-51 paint job. It sounds good. Check the flight controls. Flight controls look good. So we'll just take off with flaps. The only flaps we have. Here we go. Parking brake release. Let's see what this plane has. I think, yeah, it goes straight to afterburner. It's okay, we'll take that. Alright, decent pitching movement. The gear and flaps up. Let's bring it out of burner. Wave hi to the buddies. What's up, Langley?
Boss driver 1 leaving my airspace, frequency change approved. Langley Tower, boss driver 1 frequency change.
Alright, feels pretty good so far. Seemed like about the right acceleration with afterburner on takeoff. See how the pitching motion. I know there were some problems with the earlier versions of this plane in Flight Simulator, that the pitching motions were not very good. I think it was super heavy on the nose and then would have some hard pitch movements when you would finally get the nose to move. That might have been a center of gravity issue. But it seems that they have, for the most part, corrected that. Fly around about 300 knots. Feels like good roll movement. Let's give it a full roll at 300 knots. Here we go. Pull up a little bit. Roll it over. That's pretty good roll rate. I'm not sure if the real F-15 has that quick of a roll rate. If it does, awesome. It might be because I don't have any external stores right now, so that could help out. Might just be a little bit lighter on the inertia, but that is a nice roll rate. good environmental sounds. That seems like a good representation of the G's, getting the airflow compressed over the wings. There's Langley over there. Alright, let's hit burner. And then let's go vertical. Let's take it up to like 20,000 feet and we'll see how the speed is on this bad boy. Here we go. Doing a 5G pull up. Ooh, we even getting the breathing. Some G strain. We are completely vertical. Our airspeed is still holding. Nice. Alright, there's over 20,000 feet. Bring back over. I'll leave it in burner. And see what kind of speed we get out of it. Oh. Ooh, okay. I'm digging that. Looks like we just went Mach 1. Alright, there's the Mach cone. We're out of the Mach cone. We're in the Mach cone. Out of the Mach cone. Nice, there's Langley in the background. Yeah, let's keep getting some speed on this beast. We're at 1.3. Nice. I think this is pretty decent. I'm not getting the impression that it's 100% accurate on the flight characteristics, but I wouldn't expect it to be. Let's pull and 5 Gs at 1.4. Not sure if that's within the G envelope of the F-15. Probably though. Sometimes there's compressibility issues when you're pulling G's above Mach 1. Can cause issues or stress on the airframe. Alright, now we're below Mach 1. We're up at, oh man, 57,000 feet. Let's do the good old gentleman's 0G. Let's see if we can pick up some speed here. Above Mach 1 again, and 1.2, 1.3, let's roll it over. 1.4, 1.5. Let's take a look outside. Oh, I love it. I love when it gets quiet outside of the Mach cone. Boom. Oh man, we are picking up speed now, 1.8. About to hit airspeed warning. Controls are super heavy. We're doing 3 Gs. The 3G pull up. Let's bring it out as burner. Alright, we got it up to 1,000 knots and 1.7 Gs. I'd say that's not too shabby. So far, the handling characteristics seem pretty good. Let's do a stall. Let's throw the speed brake out. There's speed brake out. Slow it down. Let's get it into a power off stall here. Which I imagine at this weight probably be 120, 130 knots with no flaps. Whoa, there's a funny pitching in motion. Let's maintain altitude here. There's 125. AOA is showing into the critical. 115. Ooh, still handling. Still handling. Wow, it's got some excellent high angle of attack characteristics. I don't know if it's like that in the real plane, but I mean, we're still handling all the way down to 80 knots. Wow. Almost negating any power off stall or any stall characteristics. Basically just starts sinking. Alright. Well, that is definitely an interesting characteristic. It does seem like it has a little bit too much idle thrust, because in slowing down for that power off stall, I think the real airplane will probably slow down a little bit faster. Let's show that. Let's see. If I am idle, remaining level at 200 knots, and it's really only slowing at a couple of knots every couple seconds. 180, maybe a knot or two per second. I would think that the real airplane would probably decelerate a little bit quicker than that at idle. Maybe not. Alright, so we evaluated those characteristics. Let's bring it in for a landing. Let's go set up for a 2-mile overhead. Let's set that up at about 1500 AGL. Imagine we're close to sea level here, so probably around 1500 MSL, and let's try about 300 knots. Around a little more. Low on altitude. Shot my initial. It's alright. Bring it in from here. Let's do a left-handed pattern. Initial. Let's do a approach and brake to the left. Here we go. In the brake. Idle. Speed brake. Pull. Woohoo! Alright, speed brake's coming in. Altitude. It's a good speed. Let's go gear and flaps. Do a touch and go on this one and then pull close. Alright, we got gear and flaps. Left base. Gear down. Feels like all the characteristics so far with lowering the gear and flaps. The pitch seems fine, the roll rate. I think I'm enjoying the characteristics so far of the plane. Approach speed is probably somewhere around 150. Slightly fast. Bring it low over the numbers. Alright, flaps are where they need to be, so let's do touch and go. I'm not going to go afterburner, let's use about mil power. Gear and flaps up. Pull close. Let's pull close to the right. There's a good spot. 300 knots. Pull. Yeah. Roll. Pull. Overshot pattern altitude brake, check my position. Alright, we're slowing. Once we get to about midfield, we'll configure. Looking good, gear and flaps. Good positioning. Maintain about 170 through the turn. If there's any real F-15 pilots in the crowd, why don't you chime in and give me your thoughts in the comments. Let me know how this compares so far to your experiences in the F-15. Oops, overshot final a little bit there. A little close on that downwind. Try to get a little aero braking going. Let's hold that nose up a little bit. Alright, that works alright. Decent pitch authority. I like the wheel sounds, that's cool. Doing the touchdown. Seems like a good audio effect there. Bring it to a stop. Alright guys, that is it for the F-15C. I'll throw in a short review of the other models real quick. Not a full review. The flight characteristics are probably pretty similar, but we'll get to those. Here we go. Alright guys, it looks like the F-15C and D have similar characteristics in their setup here on Flight Simulator. Obviously in real life they'd be a bit different. It looks like the F-15E and I are also similar to each other, so I'm just going to review the F-15E real quick. And we'll set Langley as the departure. Let's go.
Driver 1 ready for departing straight out at runway 08.
Off driver 1 altimeter 29er decimal 2 wind 158 at 14. Straight out departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 08.
Cleared for takeoff runway 08, boss driver 1.
We are back at Langley, this time in the F-15E. A bit different cockpit. The HUD is different. All the instruments. So it looks accurate to real life, how the E is a bit newer model with upgraded avionics. Everything looks pretty sweet. Take a look on the outside. Still only one flap setting. Flight control check. Speed brake looking good. No external stores. Cool. Let's go. First, let's try it in burner. We're only at about 49,000 pounds. See how it handles with that. I know the F-15E can do a max takeoff of something insane, like 70, 75, 80,000 pounds maybe. It is a crazy, powerful plane. Oh, good sounds.
Off driver 1 leaving my airspace frequency change approved. Langley Tower boss driver 1 frequency change.
F-15C that we just reviewed. That would be as expected. I wouldn't expect them to change very much in between the models, other than visually. The flight characteristics, even though in real life their flight characteristics may have some interesting differences in the game, we might not notice those readily. So, it seems great. It seems as good as any. And it definitely seems much better than it was in the earlier versions of this add-on. Seems like they worked out a bunch of the bugs. Not perfect, but still really good. Alright, we're at idle. Let's just bring it in for a straight in, back into the runway. A quick review, assuming that it is quite similar to the F-15C. Put the speed brake out. Good speed. Let's go gear and flaps. For a 49,000-pound plane, I'd say, just rough guess, the approach speed's probably 150 or 160, somewhere in there. Let's try using an angle of attack of about 8, maybe 8 to 10. That seems a bit heavier, so maybe even 165. Seems pretty good there. Good. It's not a boss, but it'll still be fun to hang out in a little bit. That's it for this review. Let me know what you think in the comments. And in the meantime, look good, sound good, fly good, in that order. See ya!